Nwoko has confirmed that he can marry as many wives as he wants, and Regina knows about this prior before even their marriage. Hello you, welcome to Emivan channel. If this is your first time, please consider subscribing, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for joining us once again. So today we're about to share with you a recent interview Nwoko had with BBC. In that interview, Nwoko made it very clear that he can marry as many wives as he wants. So even if he's getting married to any of his wives, all his wives, they already know that. And of course, they know that even before they married him. So if he marries any other wife, nobody will question him. It's their choice. They made that decision. So he said because of his love for children that he wants more children. Okay, oh, after all, the man can take care of as many children as he wants. So if the women are going into the marriage knowing that yes, he can marry as many wives as he wants, well, it's up to them. But it just surprising for me. Like, the man is so, like, very brash. He can't be bothered. But truth be told, that's how they want it. They don't care. The women, they don't care. So I mean, who cares then? Why should it be my own headache? So we're gonna play the interview he had with BBC on this matter, and how he expressed his decision, and you know, said what he wants, as in, this is who I am, and no excuse about it, no apology. So guys, I'll play the interview for you guys to see for yourself. Please let us know what you think on the comment section below.
Standing and respect over time. I met her and I liked her. We married within 3 weeks. Yes, within 3 weeks. I married all my wives within some period. I don't believe in dating anybody to marry them. Don't date anybody you want to marry. Marry them. When you marry them, you begin to fall in love from within the marriage. You know, even in my own culture, as it were, as a kid in the 60s, people, they were not dating. They would marry in arranged marriages, family to family. They choose a wife, and then most girls were expected to be virgins when they get married, and they build a family from there. And because they didn't know each other before they got married, there's a lot of excitement, a lot of learning to do. And but Regina and I is a story that is interesting, because before I met her, I didn't know about her. I don't watch movies, never watch movies. I met her the first time when she came to my house with her mother and her siblings, because my place in Delta is a tourist place. They came to look around, and I liked her, and that was it, you know. So whether I marry another wife or not, she knows it can happen. I come from a very polygamous environment myself. I love children, so I want more children. And she knows this, and my other wives, they also know it. So we'll see what happens in the future. You do everywhere. You do everywhere. That's why at night, you got a lot of them know zone 4, zone 5, zone 6. As na fabo ashawo. Obro ko na facho ima ashawo obna economy they are good for them. These are the ills of the society now, that but as one man, one woman. Before the advent of Christianity, our tradition Igbo tradition allow for many wives and children, of course. That determines the size of the wealth you have, isn't it, in those days? So you see an average Northerner marrying 2, 3, 4. They're helping the women. They're helping the society. But the fallacy of it all is that, yes, religion, Christianity doesn't allow that in the South. And yet, the average southern man with 10 girlfriends. You know, so you don't. The irony is so stark. I love my culture, my culture as I know it, not as they're trying to dilute it now. You know, I love culture. Igbo culture is wonderful, and should be promoted the way it has always been. You know, but even looking at that, look at even your population in Nigeria. Just look at the economy of marriages, what I call economy of marriages. You, as an Igbo man, you have one wife, and maybe you have 4 children. Onye Ugu, with 4 wives. Each wife with 5 children. That's how many? 25 children. In the next 10 years, 20 years, you can look at the population. Just imagine the population of Onyugu, Ndiugu, and Ndibo, what it will be in the next 20 years. The population will be like 1 to 5, isn't it? Because of this disparity. Assuming that we are the same now. I'm just saying, but we're not. The gap is getting bigger and bigger. And Igbos will never catch up. I've been a lawyer all my life. I studied law at the University of Kiel in England. That was for my first degree. My master's, I was at King's College, University of London. Then I was called to the English bar as a barrister at law of Lincoln's Inn. First, as a practicing solicitor in UK, I had many big briefs from Nigerian government, from Moroccan government, from Ghana government, from British government, from various governments. You know, my focus at some point were just countries. So when you work at that level, you can determine your fees. Yes, I wasn't, but when I was working for the masses, I was practically doing that either on legal aid or for nothing, just supporting people, helping people. But you know, there are lawyers and there are lawyers. It's not just about. Even though I still have my practice certificate, but I don't go to court anymore. I work as a consultant now. Just like as you know, even doctors at some point they become consultants, which is what I do. So as a consultant, I determine my fees. But the kind of work that I do are very specialized, and that is why I can determine what I get paid. Very few people will do what I do. For instance, the issues that led to Paris Club refunds has to do with loans taking over time, and the repayment of those loans, and the wrongful deductions or over deductions, as the case may be. Not every lawyer will have the benefit of knowing what was wrong in a country like Nigeria, and then being able to take it to the Western world, challenging them in courts, in UK, in America, in Austria, in France, in Switzerland. But if you know the level I was operating at that point in time, you know, you can imagine governors of states, like Boni Haruna of Adamawa State, Nyame of Taraba State, Governor Kure then of Niger State, Peter B of Anambra State, Elechi of Ebonyi, and so on and so forth. These are governors that were coming to my office in London, and we're going to court with them on these matters. So, and we're talking about huge matters, and I was at the forefront. You know, I gave them the confidence that all I needed was their support, their backing, to be able to stop the wrongful deductions. Because what was happening was sad. The fact that so many states' allocations were practically going towards servicing loans that had been overpaid over time. So we had to stop it. But I give thanks to Obasanjo as well, who listened to me. Obasanjo, then General Gusso, the National Security Advisor, then the General Abubakar, Mohammed Abubakar, the Chief of Staff to the President then. So I had the support that I needed back home. And then coupled with the, official support and backing by the governors. So we're able to get cracking. And my fee was not based on, my fees were determined by me at that point, because the states were not paying me. I told them it was a no win, no fee basis. So I was charging a percentage of whatever was recovered. The same thing when I also had to work for local governments. All the local governments across the country never took out any loans. They never did. And yet, the money due to them were subjected to first-line charge deductions, where they were taking money from them as source to service loans that they didn't take. Yes, they did not take at all. Not even benefited from, they did not take. And so I felt that I could help them. And again, they didn't fund the litigation. They didn't know that it was possible to stop such deductions as source. But I told them, look, my work will do many things. First of all, it will stop these wrongful deductions, which it did. And secondly, it will refund all the previous wrongful deductions, which also happened. So if I was charging 20% as I did, they were happy. They were happy because this is like a windfall for them. They never thought there was this opportunity. And so it takes just being, it's not just about being a lawyer. It's also being at the right time, at the right place, and knowing what to do for the people. My programs have always been people-oriented.